Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to my talk, and we're going to explore together how we're going to build a workflow for your content creation management, which is your blog publishing and promoting with serverless and AI. And my name is Maya Shavin. I'm a lead software engineer at Salesforce and in a field service team where we provide excellent experience for technicians out there. And I've been working in the web and front end and full stack for many years. I'm very passionate about the good UI UX. And in addition, I'm a Vue.js Israel organizer, a Google developer expert, and a Cloudinary ambassador. Apart from work, I'm a mom of four kids, originally from Vietnam, so I can speak Vietnamese if anyone wants to speak Vietnamese with me. I'm an illustrator and a book author, which is I just have a book released with already. Yay! And if you are interested in learning about front end, especially something cool and very performant and efficient like Vue, check it out my book Vue and TypeScript 3, and that's it. Now let's talk about our manual block management schedule thing process. How does that look? Well, if you are using some sort of block management service, like Prismic or some or Wix editor or anything that is a block management service for you, then probably you don't need to care about this for me personally, because I'm a developer and I like to manage my own content, keep track of it, and also I want to integrate with my website. So I kind of have a whole things that in GitHub repo. So my blog post it will make in Markdown because that's the language for writing documentation that I'm most familiar with. So we wrote it in Markdown and like a README Markdown. And every blog post is in a Markdown file, which my repo, every time when I create a new blog post, I commit it to my repo, and my repo will actually talk to a cloud provider such as Netlify and to build and deploy on anything change on my repo. And it will just build and deploy a new version, and that's how I publish my content. Sound pretty much okay, right? It's kind of automated. But even that like that will be good. Unfortunately, I just not only publishing one platform. So apart from my website, because I'm very bad at SEO, I cannot attract a lot of people to my website. So I have to go and cross post it to another platform like Dev2 or Medium. If you're familiar with Hackathon, this is also the kind of place where you cross posting your blog posts there and it will reach to a wider audience and you don't really have to do anything to promote it so much. So I have to copy exactly the same blog post, paste it in the Dev2 editor, and then publish it. Edit something, making change, making revise the mapping so that anything from internal website blog post will be switched to Dev2 blog post if the E1 in my Dev2 account. And that's not it. After I publish it, whether or not I like it, I still need to make some noise around it, which means I still need to manually go to each and every social platform application I have on hand, com- compose a new promotion post with a URL I get from one of these blog platform like Medium, like my website or Dev2, and then write in thinking about what to write to match the tone, to match the audience in each social platform like Blue Sky, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, and share them. And you know how hard it is because technically each platform are not the same. The audience are so much different, the style is different. You can write only 255 characters on Blue Sky or on Twitter, but you can write more in LinkedIn, and people on LinkedIn are looking for posts that is in a different format, different tone, and so on and so forth. And this is basically the whole workflow manually I need to do in order to publish and promote my blog post. But that's not it. During my writing, I also need some sort of a catchy plot cover image in order to make people attracted to my article and continue reading and click on it. So I have to use some sort of a Canva or another software to create a cover image according to my look and feel. Upload extraordinary because I'm going to use in both different platforms and then copy and paste the URL back to my blog post before I publish it. So let's see how much time does it take this whole process. So for plot cover image design, it will take me about 2 to 3 hours if I already have the template ready and I just need to change the name and a bit of an image right there. Um, for cross posting, it will take about 30 minutes or so, copy paste, depending how fast you are, and if there's anything you need to fix, and if the preview go okay, you hit the publish and it work fine. The last part is more time consumption. It you technically, like I say, you need to think about what you write in. You need to change in the wording, and maybe you need to write different things for different places. Or if you're using some sort of platform to manage your social media like Buffer, then you can write one and you can decide to apply the same thing to a different way. They do automatically publish it to you, but you actually give your account permission to them and they will handle it on your behalf. So not sure if that's what I really want. So if you don't want that, you go and do manually and that will cost you at least 4 hours until a day to finish thinking about all this text, writing intensively. And with all of that, it come up to a whole day. So you literally to write and publish a new blog post or an article, you take about a day plus the writing time to complete the whole process manually. So the problem here, everything is manual. Time consumption test, especially the cross-protein and the media content creation. And I need to think of what I need to do because I'm not native speaker, so I sometimes I think that would be good writing a post like that. Maybe it doesn't work on audience, let's say in the US, in Europe, and so on. And how I'm going to make it consistent and engagement according to the platform forgetful because I some not all the platform allow me to schedule my post, my promotion post. Sometimes I have to go there on the same day that I publish my post and write about it and hit the button of publish for my content for my social media post. And that means that I need to remember to give each one of them. And also the case that sometimes I don't remember how many social media I have. We have so many and I have on Twitter. Sometimes I forgot about LinkedIn. Sometimes I forgot about Blue Sky, and not to talk about Threads and Instagram and so on. Okay, and too many software. Just one of these you already see that I have Canvas, like Cloudinary. I have um, all the social media. I have DevTool to go in, and I have to do a lot of content switch. Why all I wanted to do is just write a blog post. This becomes worse every time you want to write a blog post and publish a blog post in a frequent manner. For example, like me, I do it every week, like weekly post, one a week. That's terrible because every week I have to block a day just to for me to go and publish it manually and then do all this promotion on that day. And of course, that's apart from the how much time it take me to write that blog post. I can like come out to that I don't have time for this. So can we automate it? Well, the good news is we can. And that is the term we come up with today. SSW, which is Smart Serverless Workflow. I came up with it. It's not a real terminology, I just came up with it, okay? So what it means, SSW, smart, meaning we are using AI to enable the whole process of content creation and data analysis afterwards and providing context also. Serverless, which means we don't need to use any server, we don't need to build and maintain any server. We can run the code on a cloud provider without actual build our own server. So we don't have to manage it. We don't have to pay for that. We don't have to maintain it. We don't have to think about other things like scalable. And we can make set it up very quickly because we because of that fact that we don't have to build the server. And all of that is we can create together and plug together into a single workflow, a workflow of um, a lot of tasks that can be executed in an automated manner, and it serves as an orchestration for the complex processes like posting, cross-posting, posting to social platform, and also generating information from the AI. It connect all the dots together and make data flow from one point to another. And that's how we build the SSW for our. That's how we choose the SSW for our block management. Okay, so the benefit, like I say, automated tasks, leverage AI, scalable, cost efficient, save time and effort and maintenance, increase consistency and reach because when we have the workflow, everything operate according to the automated manner. We just need to provide the date. It will take care of the rest. It's like a grown job. And this, to make it an example, this is the example of the workflow for the plot management, scheduling, and promotion. This is not the end, that's not the final architecture, but as you can see here, we have several components that create into a workflow. So we have the smart aspect where we connect to the social media. We connect to the AI to get the content. We have the serverless aspect, which is the core of the workflow, where it acts like serverless functions and async workflow, which act like a synchronous job execution. And we also connect to all the API at the component uh, and to do other things that to flow the data between services. So let's talk about the first part, Netlify async workflow. I'm choosing Netlify. If anyone doesn't know what is Netlify, Netlify is a cloud hosting platform that is free. Yep, it's very efficient. It's very free, very and the UI dashboard is amazing. I really love it. I've been using it for about 4 or 5 years already, and it have a lot of things that to offer. It's can you can connect to it, and every time when you want to deploy it, you just push the commit, and then it will just pick it up and do the continuous deployment integration itself, and have your website update like instantly. And it also provides a lot of more features like form for getting feedback and subscriber and so on and so forth. So async workflow is the newest features from Netlify. Netlify service function is the beginning of serverless function, like it's an API that will execute on their side on their own provider. I don't need to provide them any server for that. And async workflow is actually another kind of service function, but with larger timeout. So it in the other way, it's like reliable set it and forget it tune. So you set it, you schedule it, and you forget it. It's like a cron job for long running task. And it's an event based execution architecture, which is you send an event to trigger an async workflow job. And that can trigger something that you define inside it, such as a multitask workflow containing a lot of complex steps. And it will sleep and only work whenever you schedule it or whenever you trigger it. And other than that, it will stay sleeping. Okay. The next aspect of technology we're talking here is this OpenAI or AI or generative AI aspect, which if anyone haven't is not familiar with this channel, Gen AI means generative AI. LLM is large language module, which is an AI module that generates human readable text from a prompt that given by like instruction given by the human. So a lot of different AI, GPT is one of them that belong to OpenAI, have Gemini, have Transfer, and Azure OpenAI would be on top of OpenAI, and Llama from Meta, and Hugging Face, and so on and so forth. And any of them is good. Each of them are very good for specific things, but that's another topic. So the GPT or the AI module would train on the input data and also on the existing data. So it's actually learning while talking to you. And it has the capability of creating diverse content depending on how you provide the prompt from page. So for example, here I provide the whole prompt for the social media content per platform. I give it a role, a social media content assistant. I add us to create a post for whatever platform. And I give some other instruction for grounding, like do not generate something, do not including something. And I ask to provide a unique post that tailor to specific platform, and of course give it some instruction on how the tone should be and how the length should be, and give some format instruction that how I want the input return to me is returned to me in a string, but I want to make it return to me a string of JSON object like turn up array or something that I can parse it into the structured data to fetch it to the next component in the workflow. Okay, and it work with token. So all of these texts will be sent to the AI every time, and it will be counted as token. And there's a maximum limit for how many token you can use. And if you overuse it, you need to pay more. Or maybe you cannot even use it. So that's the downside. But they have a lot of usually the margin are very good, so you don't have to care about that so much. And it offer API because part of our workflow is to use API integration to connect all the dots together, which this is good, right? Okay. And the last technologies aspect I'm talking in this workflow, sample workflow, is API integrations. All of this, AutoCAD, social media API, even blog platform like Forum for Dev2 platform, Forum API, Icon API integration for the workflow. We all know what is API, I hope. But anyway, so API integration to help us to connect all the service together from outside the service into our workflow and complete our flow of data. And we also, because we're using API integration, we also need to handle authentication with this. And it allows us to no need to actually go to the applications and do our thing manually. It allows us to create some sort of automation process with only API request. Okay, that's good. So let's go to our more high level of our workflow, automated workflow for publishing and scheduling and promoting content proposed on social media. Okay, so this is the design, the final design of my proper management, or I call it the scheduler and promoter manager, scheduling and promoting managers for my blog post. Okay, so I'm the user. I will start to go to a portal where I will connect to another service function that talk to my GitHub repo and get back all the drafts content, then display it for me to choose as a user. At this point, you know that I need to have authentication because the GitHub repo will talk to the API will only talk to the portal through API token and authenticate the token and so on. And this is can be an application or can be a GitHub workflow action or something. It doesn't really matter for me. I make it into an application so I can open it, review it anywhere I go. And the application is written on Vue. So I did a draft. I chose the draft. I called another API called social media to talk to GPT and get me the post, the social media post, the AI generated content here. Return it. I schedule whatever when I want to publish the draft. And with all this information, I trigger the API request schedule that will trigger this. We schedule an event that trigger async workloads of Netlify's an async workload that I decide I implemented, and this async workflow basically async workflow event. Okay, so I schedule an event that will trigger this async workflow handler and on the specific day. So on that day, this will run and it will start to do several steps in the workflow. The step one, it will make a commit. It will fetch from the repo for the latest version of the post and making a commit with the changing from Boolean flag from traps to phone. So it will actually it will actually trigger the Netlify build to deploy the new version of the website with the blog post appear at the first place. And when it finished, successfully, it will go to the next page where it take on the content of the latest blog posts that were published, create another request with that using Forum API, talk to Dev2, create a trap post on Dev2, my Dev2 account. And when I finish with it, I, of course, also do the mapping. Let's say if I have an internal URL, I need to map it to Dev2 URL. So I also do that in here. And then when it finish, it will actually go to the third step where I sharing to social media. The reason why I didn't include this one in here is because I want to be able to control and edit the social media posts that were generated from the AI. I needed to help me to generate the base, and I still want to edit a bit of here and there, and also want to see how what is generated. So in here, it will trigger all of this in asynchronous mode that for example, it published to Blue Sky, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter at the same time. And whoever finished will just continue the flow. Okay. And if it's not finished, it will stop right there. And then the async workflow will decide to when to retry. So it can retry in 1 minute, depending on how I set it, but it will try to retry in, let's say, according to the time interval, and it will resume at the point where it's failed and continue on from there. It will not try to restart the whole flow from start. It will just continue on where it left off. It's remember the state. Okay, so once all this sharing with social media complete, maybe reject, maybe resolve, and back to async workflow will trigger an API request to send the status email to my email. Because I'm the content creator, I want to know what is going to be published today and how is my schedule publication look like, and what failed, what didn't work, what I need to go and fix. So it all depends. This will try to send it once all of them finish, or at some certain time when some of them already finished and some didn't finish, and they will try to also send it to me and tell me that it's something wrong with the process and so on. And that's the high level diagram. How does it look? Let's see. So here, schedule, and I fetch the draft. I chose the draft. I chose the cross posting. I schedule a day and time. I go to next. I choose a platform, social media platform. I get the content. I fix the content here in LinkedIn, and I'm going to schedule it. I review it, and now I just schedule immediately. It's triggered. This is immediately, not on a certain day. So when I trigger it, it will commit. It will cross post to Dev2, and it create a new blog post on LinkedIn with the content I asked it to do. And finally, it send me an email it send me an email using SendGrid API, which is free and it's awesome. which on the information that I asked it to do, like what is the status of the main website, what is the status of the dev 2, and what is the status of LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. And that's it. That's all I did. I just only need to do one thing right there. A very minimum thing. I don't even need to open LinkedIn. I don't need to open dev 2. I do need to open dev 2 because I actually publish it at the draft. But I don't need to review it, and I also can choose to publish it straight away and don't need to review it, and so on and so forth. And the benefit of this whole flow is that everything is automated. Yay, I don't have to spend a day or so to do it. And you can see it, it doesn't take 7.5 hours to do it. And I can do it anytime. Increase consistency on content publishing and scheduling because I schedule it on that day, on that time. Everything will publish at the same time. So every platform is like that. So everyone will know that it will be scheduled and will publish on the according to a certain schedule. And not only that, because you're doing it according to a time frame, assuming that I always set it to, let's say, Wednesday at 9 a.m. for all my blog posts, which means the algorithm, the social media platform, the algorithm will be able to pick up my post as the very frequent active user or frequent post. So it will pump me up in the algorithm to show to other audience, people that might be interested, and to show it earlier. So I will be able to get more reach on this. And thus, I don't even need to go and try to match the time frame or try to remember I need to do this. It do it for me, so I don't have to think about it. And then I can focus on content creation because I just need to focus on writing, and then open my applications for management, blog post management that I created, budget, select the day, select the time, and go for it. If I'm doing it in the GitHub Actions, I even have a less context switch because it can do automatically for me. Enhance audience reach, like I said, and leverage AI. I got to learn about AI. Hey, that's great, right? And I leverage AI into generate social media promoting content for me. Now it works as my assistant. I don't need it to work to code for me. I don't need it to take my job. I just need to be my assistant that do things that I'm not going to do very well, such as social media content, SEO content, where I have no idea how to make it look interesting, engaging, and will be ranked first in Google search, for example. And because I'm using serverless, everything is scalable architect, and I can set it up for say 1 week. All of these functions, well, of course, implementation is another story, and research is another story. But I don't have to build the actual server, Node.js server, and it costs less, and it's reliable. Well, unless Netlify is down, then I have a problem. But it's reliable because I don't need to think about it that much. So what's next? Before we finish, let me show you. Okay, let me show you how my codes look like because we don't have enough time. So this is a generative function. In generative function, I'm using LangChain, OpenAI. LangChain is orchestration, JavaScript, also Python, a framework that help you to create, to orchestrate and to create the whole flow of AI and working with AI from end to end. So in here, I'm using LangChain OpenAI. Okay, so in here, I'm using OpenAI, LangChain OpenAI, and using LangChain Core Prompt template so I can pass more information to that. Okay, so let's go to the uh, interesting part. So here, I create the template with the prompt. This is the system prompt, which is the definition of what is the AI going to be. And then I pass the human text where this is the text that can be what you call dynamics, like an input, actual input from the user. And I also pass some format instruction. And here, the format instruction is, let's say the format instruction is to tell us to actually generate the content in the JSON format, which this field, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. And if there's something not able to do it, then it's provide an empty string. Okay, so from this string, I will be able to parse it into the proper JSON object. So how I'm going to do that? I'm going creating a parser. Wait, let me just go off. Okay, so I'm going to create a parser. Where's the parser? Here the parser. The parser, we're using JSON output parser and pass it to the structure that I wanted to do. This parser will plug in into the pipe, which is the orchestration pipe, for invoke for the for Legends to invoke it, and what else? And also, so I put the prompt, I pipe the module. When I create the prompt, I told it that to use the module that I created, which is Chat OpenAI, and I'm using the 40 mini, which is pretty good enough. However, if you want to use it, I tested with Gemini lately, and I think the result for this is Gemini is a little bit better than OpenAI, so you should try it out, though. And it's free, I think. It's also free. And other from, okay, here for the Python module and pipe the parser after the module. So after the module is finished, the input of the parser, the input of the module with the input of the AI will be, sorry, the output of the AI will be the input of the parser. And then I will get the chain and I can invoke it with whatever input parameter I want. This is the starting point. It will call the module and it will fed this into as input for the module. Uh, and then the output module will be the input of parser. And then all I get back is the response that look like this. Okay. And another thing is the async workflow. So the async workflow in here, I have different step, 4 step here. And the step 4, this is the Blue Sky. And I'm going to send the email afterwards regardless. So if something failed, I will still send me an email. So I know that something failed and it's going to be retry or not. Okay. And this is this asynchronous workflow. And how I'm going to trigger it, I'm going to the schedule API service function. I define the delay time, which is when I want it to be published or when I want it to be run, like current schedule. So I get the publishing day and then I get the time and then I put in here and I put some data in here, which I get from the portal. And I also compute also send a message to my email saying that I'm scheduled this purpose, just so you know. And then I will just uh, return it back and say, and this one I send the client. The client is the new work asset workload client, and I send the client with the event of scheduled post publishing. And of course, I need to tie this event to the async workflow that I created, which I believe, I think it should be somewhere here. I just cannot find it right now. It's a lot of it's in there now, but I have to map it. And so, and then I pass everything into this one, and that's it. That's it will take care of the rest. And that's pretty much it. Okay, let's go back to our thing. So what next? So the next thing I haven't done and we can think of is authentication, analytics, integration to more platform because it's easy. It's not really easy, but I haven't finished with Twitter, so I have to do that. And I want to have a dashboard where I can see and edit and modify. So technically, I'm building a blog management software right here. And this one, I'm not sure I will continue or I will just leave it an open source project for now. But as you know, you can do all of this. And this is part where you start thinking how you're going to scale it, because one, you have the dashboard. It's already have involved the database and so on, and cache and so on. So resource. I suggest you to start with Netlify's workflow, LangChain, SendGrid, and OpenAI to start understand how it works. And if you're using a GitHub repo for your content, try it out AutoKit, and that will be really good for you. And that's it. Thank you for joining my talk. I hope you enjoy it, and have a nice day.